Today we're making Big Mac smashed broccoli, and the first thing you're gonna do is put some cheddar on a parchment lined baking sheet in about 6 piles, so just like this. And you're also going to put a bag, whether it's fresh or frozen broccoli, in the microwave and let it steam. Or if you like chop up a head of broccoli, you could steam it however you do that. But I just got the bag. All right, so once you get your cheddar just like this, you're going to take your steamed broccoli and just put some piles on top of each pile of cheddar. If you have big heads that'll fit like over one pile, that's great. But if you have to use 2 or 3, that's fine too. Because when you smash them, it will all smash together. All right, and once we get this, what we're going to do is get to smashing. I'm glad you made it, Natasha. What's up, TH3? All right, so smash it with like the bottom of a cup, mason jar, whatever you have. Just maybe you can see a little better. Boom. And it's kind of sticking. I did not have this issue earlier. There we go, this one did not stick. So if you mix a bunch of like tiny floret heads together, they might stick to the bottom of your cup. But if it's just one big piece, it shouldn't stick. Okay. And once you get that nice and flattened, so you can see it's like a little messy. All right, once we got that, what we're gonna do is just start adding whatever you would put on a Big Mac. I don't have the confidence to go with pickles. I'm sorry, I don't know if pickles and broccoli goes good together. One other thing you can do to make it crispier, let me grab a napkin. You can just like do this, double smash it to get some of the moisture out. As you can see, there's a good amount of moisture there. All right, so I have some just hamburger meat. This has been sitting out since I made a reel for this, and I'm kind of kicking myself because I didn't do it as good as it could have been. So around 2:30 today, it's now 6:30, so this has been sitting out for 4 hours. But anyway, so around 2:30 today, I made a reel for this, and what I did was I put the hamburger meat, I put onions on it, and then I put more cheddar and baked it. And it came out looking a little burnt. It still looked kind of good, but you know, the cheddar gets like brown if you want it to be super crispy. So what I think I'm gonna do, instead of adding more cheddar, which this is purely for aesthetic purposes, it tasted fine. But what I think I'm gonna do, you've got your cheddar, your smashed broccoli, your hamburger meat. Now we need some onions. What I think I'm gonna do is just bake them like this for 10 minutes, rather air fry them at 400 for 10 minutes. If you're baking them, which is how I would make this, we're just on live, so let's try and do it quicker. I'm gonna air fry it at 400 for 10, but if you're baking them, do 400 for 20. And at the end, maybe even when they're done, I'm gonna put the greatest invention ever, which I think is what makes any cheeseburger taste 1,000 times better. We're gonna put American cheese on top. Okay. Into the air fryer they go. Maybe I'll just sprinkle a tad bit of cheddar just to hold everything together. Not a lot though, just a little bit. Like a super tiny amount of cheddar. Okay, 400 for 10 minutes in the air fryer, or 20 in the oven. And now we're gonna make what really makes them Big Mac smashed broccoli. We're gonna make some mac sauce. And I have a full recipe for this. I will put the actual recipe in the caption. I'm just not in the mood to make it. For one, I've been very free with like not tracking or not even being mindful of how much I'm eating. So over the past couple days. So I'm gonna like get back on track a little, and instead of making the regular mac sauce that's basically just mayo with like mustard, relish, onions, paprika, a little bit of sweetener, salt and pepper, I'll put that in the caption. But I'm gonna do a yogurt version because honestly the taste of the mustard with like the relish and the paprika and stuff, it kind of cancels out any tartness from the yogurt. So I'm just gonna make my own yogurt mac sauce. And I mean, if Greek people use yogurt to make tizay tizaikai, I feel like I can use yogurt to make my own mac sauce. Toast a potato roll, awesome. I actually don't know if I've ever had that. If that were keto friendly, that would be delicious. Any kind of roll. The best rolls ever are the Golden Corral rolls. Just got your cookbook. I love it. Hey, thank you so much, Karen. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. If you guys have the book and you like it, which is Carefree Keto, just go to Amazon, type in Carefree Keto, you can get it there. But if you like the book, please, please, please go back to the listing on Amazon, type in Carefree Keto, where it says like 4.8 or however many stars it has. Click there and please leave a review. Every single one helps so much. Love both books. Hey, thank you, Jane. Love everything you make. Thank you so much, Rachie. And both books, I have yet to put out just like a straight up cookbook. So if you guys have my books, you know, neither of the books is just a cookbook. Each half of them are written material. The other half is like 100 recipes each with big pictures. So if you're interested in learning about keto, learning how to do keto short term, do keto the rest of your life, transition off of keto, if you need meal plans, grocery lists, all of that, they're also in my book too. Can't wait to get my book. I hate tracking food. So this book is definitely for you if you are not a fan of tracking. You know, I think a big part of why I write books, of why I create content, of why I do this stuff is... Alright, hold on guys, let's get into the rest of the ingredients. So we have our relish, we have our mustard, and honestly, the actual mac sauce recipe, if you look it up, even the one that's in my book, does not require ketchup, but I kind of like adding a little bit of ketchup. But what's your story? Did you lose weight on keto? So I lost 80 pounds on keto, and that's what I was gonna say about like why I write books, you know, and why I make content. When I started keto in 2016, I had pretty much been overweight my whole life. Maybe a few years here and there I would like thin out a little bit, but I was just addicted to junk food. I got up to 240 pounds and I was going to Dairy Queen twice a day. And it's like the idea of limiting my calories was so overwhelming because I wasn't willing to accept a life where I had to feel hungry. And if you try to do a low-fat diet or a low-calorie diet and you don't understand how important it is to get lots of satiating fats and satiating protein in your diet, you're gonna track and you're gonna be miserable. So what happens when a lot of people who don't want to track go on keto, what happens is the amount of food it takes to feel full is greatly reduced, especially if you're eating lots of vegetables, you know. You can like volume eat as well and do keto. And I talk about volume eating a lot in the new book too. But it's like you all of a sudden can kind My sister just called me. Usually it's my niece who just gets on her phone and calls me. So I'm sorry if I broke up there for a second. Alright, I need a bigger mixing bowl. This is spilling. I need to mix this in a larger bowl. Oh crap. Alright, we have 5 minutes left on the broccoli. I needed like a bowl that's in the middle of this one and that one. Alright, so relish, yogurt, mustard. What's the book called again, please? It is called Carefree Keto. Just type in Carefree Keto on Amazon. Yeah, Mandy, now it's too big. It's okay. I will transfer it to a properly sized dipping cup. And you can just play with the ratios. This is honestly, although the paprika is kind of necessary, so let's add that. And I think salt and pepper are necessary. And you can play with like the ratios of how much ketchup and mustard you want to add. But it's gonna taste like mac sauce. You can even add a little bit of sweetener, although I think the yogurt adds like a decent amount of sweetness. Just keep in mind, this is slightly higher in carbs than, actually, so is mayonnaise actually 0 net carbs, or is it like 0.4? Because if plain Greek yogurt has 7 net carbs per 3/4 cup, how many carbs more is that than 3/4 cup of mayonnaise? Or is mayonnaise just 0 carbs because it's egg yolk and oil? I don't know. But yeah, you could use sour cream too. Alright, and this is what your mac sauce looks like. Let's check on our broccoli. This actually looks really delicious. I think I'm gonna have to redo the end of the video when I get off here for the reel that I made today, because it's gonna look so much nicer with American cheese on top. I love your recipes. I'm waiting for my book to be delivered tonight. I'm gonna try every recipe. Hey, thank you so much, Diana. I hope you love them all. This tastes good, salty things and natural yogurt. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said earlier, Greek people use tzatziki. They use yogurt to make, you can put that on anything, really. They like marinate chicken in it. Which of your books do you recommend first for keto beginners? I would say Carefree Keto, because when I wrote Breaking Up with Carbs, I had a less open perspective on the idea that other diets work. You know, I kind of came from I was speaking strictly from my perspective at that time, which is other diets do not work because because it just like, they didn't work for me, you know? So I was like very dogmatic about keto being the only way. And then in the new book, Carefree Keto, I'm more open-minded to, living a low-carb lifestyle, volume eating, just focusing on protein, getting off of keto. It's like I have a lot of updated perspectives. Is Carefree Keto good for diabetics? I mean, if you're a diabetic, you should obviously get any health advice from a doctor, but the recipes are not going to raise your blood sugar, and if that's your goal, to eat meals that don't raise your blood sugar, I think, yeah, they all would be aligned with that. Just be careful with what sweetener you buy. Sometimes this is why people who use like maltodextrin or dextrose, which I don't avoid those things in pepperoni or and like savory foods. But when you go to the grocery store and you see the big bag of stevia, unless it's like Truvia or Swerve or a trustworthy brand, a lot of times the big bag of stevia, like stevia in the raw, it's a little bit of stevia and a ton of maltodextrin or a ton of dextrose. And those things raise your blood sugar. So if you're diabetic and you're buying any kind of artificial sweeteners and you're making like keto baking recipes, you want to be careful to check for maltodextrin and dextrose. All right, 400 for 10 minutes. This is what we got. Each one is gonna be like a little chip. But what we're gonna do is put some American cheese on it. What do you think about monk fruit? I think monk fruit is great. Like I said, monk fruit and stevia are like super sweet. So when you buy a bag of monk fruit, it's usually a little bit of monk fruit with like a lot of something else. Just make sure that something else is not maltodextrin or dextrose. A lot of monk fruit products use like the majority of it is erythritol, which is actually fine. There was a study that came out about like erythritol being bad, but basically every doctor I know, even people who are kind of anti-keto, like every scientist I get information from, doctor I get information from, they all said that study was terrible and they're not scared of erythritol. So based on that, I don't avoid erythritol, but if you have a different opinion, don't listen to me. Listen to your doctor. I'm just here to make fun food and give you some encouragement on your journey. All right, we're gonna put this back in for like 1 minute. And I'm really excited to see how it looks once the American cheese starts melting. Allulose is also a great one. Yeah, Rummy. A lot of people still eat erythritol. I do not like monk fruit or allulose. Oh, interesting. Most people I know at least love allulose. Like if you don't like artificial sweeteners, it seems like most people say that allulose has the least of an aftertaste. I should probably put this away now, because any chance of me giving it to Sophia is like gone. It's just gonna be something I eat now. Maybe I'll use it to make a Big Mac quesadilla or something tonight. I'm actually going to try and eat as soon as I get off here. Anna and Sophia are at Walmart right now, and I need to be done eating by the time they get home so I can give Sophia her dinner. Because for a couple weeks I tried to do it where me and Sophia and Anna eat dinner at the same time. Because I'm in charge of Sophia's dinner. Anna's with Sophia from like 8 a.m. to whenever, to 6:30 p.m. So she's with Sophia all day. And then for like the last 2 hours I take over. But today our schedule is a little behind and I'm going to give Sophia dinner. And like I said, I tried so hard to get to a point where I could give Sophia her dinner and eat mine too. But she's just not autonomous enough. She's like too picky. Sometimes you have to like change what you're giving her. And some days she just doesn't eat anything. So like instead of just being like, well, she's going to eat the healthy food or she's not going to eat anything, which is what I thought I would be like. It's like, no, we have to get something that she'll eat. And I think a lot of people who are like in the health space, we go into having kids thinking that, you know, our kids are gonna eat the beef liver that we put in front of them, or if you think plants are good for you, or the spinach I put in front of them, or they're just not gonna eat. But the truth is, once your kid goes like a day where they just won't eat anything you put in front of them, and then 2 days where they just won't eat anything you put in front of them, You kind of have to give them a piece of toast or something, even if it's like the healthier bread, you know. Okay, so these are done. And now we're gonna put them on a plate. And you can either drizzle it on the broccoli, or you can dip them in the mac sauce. Okay, so you can see the bottom, kind of crunchy like a chip. Oh. Do you think there's a difference between keto for men and keto for women? I do think that women's hormones play a role in like things like fasting and stuff. All right. You know what, guys? I don't think this is as good as when you put cheddar on top, too. So we have an issue. I think they're still going to be delicious, especially as the cheese cools down, they're going to harden up. So that's just one thing to remember. But they are a little flimsier than if you put cheddar on both sides. I guess when you put the cheddar on top, it's like, it just gets harder. But once they harden up, it's gonna be okay. Look at this one. Oh, they could be like mini Big Mac tacos. That actually would be really good. But once they get a little harder, they're gonna turn into like sturdy chips. They just are. When the cheddar is still warm, it's still like, it's like when you make hard shell tacos. You can, with cheese, by the way. You can bake cheese on parchment paper just like we did that. Just don't add the broccoli or anything. Just bake a couple circles of cheese. And when it comes out, it's still flimsy. So you put like 2 cups and a butter knife, and then you fold the taco shells over, and after about 5 minutes, they cool down and you have hard shell tacos. But when they first come out, they're kind of flimsy. All right, we're gonna try this. So Land O'Lakes makes American cheese that's not in the plastic. Oh, nice. Maybe I'll try that out. All right, let's try one of these. I'll eat the ugliest one. So where's one that like looks like crap? That I can just like fold as a taco. Alright, so this one is kind of falling apart. Oh my god, look at the crispy. Alright, here we go. Jen, you think I was gonna forget the mac sauce? No way. Here we go. Oh my god. Oh my god. So good. 100% bussin'. These are amazing. Alright guys, I'm gonna get off here because I need to hurry up and eat and get everything put away before Anna and Sophia get back. Also, we're going back to Ohio for Christmas on like Friday. So probably Wednesday and Thursday night I won't be live. So I'll be back on tomorrow. But then after Christmas, we get home the 25th. So I'll be back on the lives like the 26th. So I'm not taking a break like the couple days after Christmas Day, but I am the couple days before. So I'll probably be off here Wednesday, Thursday, and that weekend, and then I'll be back the next Monday. Shout out to Cobra, hey, and Big T. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I love you. I believe in you. I'll see you tomorrow.